I sold my stepson's new dirt bike because my husband prioritizes his son's hobby over our daughter's creativity, but my stepson smashed my new TV and my husband defended him and forced me to replace the dirt bike. And now he's at a motocross race while I'm left feeling like my daughter caused all this chaos. My husband has a 13-year-old son, Aiden. My daughter, Riley, is 8. We've been married for 4 years and blended families are supposed to be this beautiful bonding thing, but honestly, it feels like everything I do gets twisted into some big attack on the golden boy. And yes, that's what he is. I'm not sugarcoating this. Every decision, every dollar, every schedule in this house gets rearranged for motocross or trophies or practices or whatever new expensive gear he suddenly needs. I get that teenagers need hobbies. I get that a dad wants to support his kid. But what I don't get is why my daughter and I are supposed to live around this boy's entire identity like it's a second job for us. The motocross thing has taken over our lives ever since the first time he did well at some local race. My husband still talks about it like the kid won the Olympics. It's the only thing he actually gets emotional about. Birthdays, holidays, school things, he claps and smiles like a normal parent. But motocross? Suddenly he's the world's best cheerleader and personal coach. And when the ex-wife shows up to these events, it's like watching some old reunion special. She's athletic, tan, social, and every other mom there seems to have known her for years. Meanwhile, I'm standing there like I wandered into the wrong family. I'll just admit it, I don't like the way I feel around the motocross crowd. I don't like feeling like the outsider in my own marriage. I don't like how many weekends I've spent on dusty bleachers while my daughter tries to entertain herself coloring on scrap paper because her own hobbies aren't team-oriented. And I definitely don't like how proud everyone is of Aiden while nobody notices how much Riley is actually good at. She's creative. She makes these little clay animals out of leftover craft kits, and they look like real animals. She paints whole scenes without copying anything. She asked once if she could take art classes, and my husband said we'd look into it after motocross season calmed down. But motocross season never calms down, and art classes don't come with trophies. So yes, I reached a breaking point. My husband decided Aiden needed a real dirt bike if he wanted to be competitive. The price tag was so high I genuinely thought he misread it. But he treated it like it was the most normal purchase in the world. Like most people just casually buy items that cost the same as a used car. And he didn't ask me. He told me, after the fact. I'm his wife, not some neighbor he's updating out of courtesy. He justified it by saying Aiden is actually talented and needs investment. Meanwhile, Riley's entire world consists of dollar store art supplies and recycled paper because we're tight on fun money. But apparently the budget magically expands anytime the boy needs something. So when he brought that dirt bike home like he was unveiling a masterpiece, something just snapped in me. I know everyone here is going to jump straight to the ethics of selling a child's property. But the thing is, I wasn't thinking about morality. I was thinking about how everything in this house is decided around one kid's interests, while the rest of us are supposed to nod and clap. I listed the dirt bike. It sold in under 2 days. And yes, I used the money. I'm not pretending I donated it or saved it for Riley's tuition or something noble. I bought myself a new TV because ours was ancient and I'm the one who actually uses it. I bought myself a decent set of art supplies because I used to paint before kids and I've wanted to get back into it for years. And yes, I bought Riley some clay and markers because I'm not heartless, but I didn't blow the whole sale on her. I know how that sounds. I don't care. If my husband can make big, expensive decisions on his own, so can I. The explosion from Aiden when he found out was honestly worse than I expected. He stormed around the house like he was an adult who'd just been betrayed by a business partner, not a 13-year-old who still can't remember to bring dishes to the sink. And then, while my husband was on his side acting like this was the crime of the century, Aiden smashed my new TV. Not an accident, not clumsy, full force. And my husband defended him. Apparently, I provoked it. Apparently, I took something from him first. Apparently, I'm supposed to understand that destroying something I bought with my own money is somehow balanced by the fact that I sold something he loved. And then my husband forced me to pay for a brand new replacement dirt bike. No discussion, no apology, no acknowledgement that his son destroyed property. Just a demand. Now he and Aiden are at another race this weekend. Another one. After everything. After the screaming and slamming and the silent treatment and the guilt trips, he still chose to go to another event rather than stay home and figure this out. I'm sitting here with Riley, who keeps asking if she made Daddy mad because she said she liked the new TV. And maybe that's the worst part. Not the dirt bike, not the TV, not the money, but that my daughter is walking around like she's responsible for the atmosphere in this house, even though she didn't do anything wrong. And I'm starting to resent that too, because I don't want to be reminded how easily she absorbs guilt. I don't want to see her apologize for things she didn't cause. Anyway, that's the story. Apparently, I'm the monster for not wanting to be second place in my own house. Update 1. I didn't realize my husband and literally everyone else in the house would act like I declared war on the family. I've been noticing the favoritism for years, and it's not just because I'm jealous of the bike or motocross or trophies. It's deeper than that. I'll admit it. I've been comparing Riley to Aiden since he was 9. I notice how she reacts when the ex-wife is around. She shrinks a little, self-conscious, because everyone else is so polished and athletic, and the mom has that energy of being outdoorsy, confident, and social. And me? I'm standing there in the dust, watching my husband swoon over another kid's mom like he's at a show. I hate it. It's humiliating. And yes, I know it sounds dramatic, but it's true. And no, Riley didn't ask for this. But somehow I've become responsible for making the household fair, and everyone acts like I've lost my mind when I actually try. When Aiden destroyed my TV, that was honestly the part that pushed me over the edge. I wasn't just thinking about the bike anymore. I was thinking about respect, about boundaries, about the fact that my husband treats his son like some kind of untouchable prince, while every time Riley tries to ask for anything or do anything creative, it gets shelved. He didn't even acknowledge that the kid destroyed property. He just told me to pay for a new bike. I felt like screaming. I mean, how does a parent justify rewarding destruction with more stuff? But no, I stayed calm. Or at least calm compared to the rage I felt inside. Then I discovered that my husband had completely emptied the emergency savings to buy a replacement dirt bike. And here's the kicker. Those savings were my plan for something I'd been keeping a secret, an art retreat I wanted to take this summer. I wasn't asking anyone for permission. I wasn't making noise about it. I had it planned quietly for months because, guess what? I actually have ambitions too. But now suddenly that money is gone. Vanished. And the reason is Aiden. So now I'm supposed to be upset at him? No. I'm upset at the family, at the system, at the way everything revolves around him and his hobbies while I get brushed aside. I went nuclear. I canceled the next big motocross event. I didn't tell my husband. I told Aiden he wasn't racing until he learned respect for property. I framed it as parenting, but let's be honest. It was a way to assert control in a house where I feel completely invisible. I didn't care if it looked harsh. I didn't care if it seemed dramatic. I wanted to prove a point. You don't just get to destroy things and expect to be treated like the golden child. I wanted everyone to see that I could make a decision and enforce it, even if it upset the family dynamic. Of course, that didn't go over well. My husband lost it not because I canceled a race, but because he saw the charge for the art retreat appear on the bank statements. Now suddenly, it's about me hiding money and being selfish. Which, okay, technically yes, I bought myself something and didn't announce it to the world. But isn't it ironic that he emptied the savings to buy a bike for a kid without consulting me? And now I'm the problem for spending money I earned on things I wanted. The double standard is absurd. Then MIL shows up unannounced. She goes straight for the jugular. She accuses me of being jealous of a child, punishing Aiden to feel powerful, hiding money. All of it. She's standing there like she knows the truth of the universe, and I'm some morally bankrupt villain. I didn't even give her a chance to finish. I kicked her out. I told her I'm done being disrespected by people who can't keep men, people who act like I'm the one destroying the family. And honestly, I meant it. I don't need approval from someone who doesn't live in my house and can't see the way this family treats me and Riley. So here we are. Everyone in this family is ungrateful and blind, and I'm the only adult trying to protect Riley from their chaos. I'm tired of being second place in my own home. Update 2. Even though I canceled the big motocross race, my husband quietly went behind my back and re-registered Aiden anyway. I found out later, obviously, because you can't hide a kid leaving for a race without someone noticing. And then of course the inevitable happened. Aiden crashed during practice. Ambulance, sirens, the whole thing. He's physically okay, thank God. But he was shaken, scared, and covered in bruises and scratches. Now, most people in my situation would have panicked. Call the hospital, call his friends, call his mother, maybe even cry a little. Not me. I mean, I felt bad he got hurt, sure, but my brain was doing math the whole time. Like, how is my husband reacting? And, most importantly, am I being sidelined from the situation the way I usually am? Of course, everyone else was dramatic. Husband panicked, ex-wife panicked, my MIL showed up immediately, and I was standing there watching him get hugged, fussed over, comforted like he's the only person in the world who matters, watching the chaos unfold while I was completely on the outside. Then came the real kicker. I overheard Aiden talking quietly to one of his friends while he was sitting in the ambulance waiting room. He said, and I remember this perfectly, "I only raced because I didn't want Dad to think I'm weak since the bike got sold." And then, even more shockingly, he added, "I didn't want my name to think she won." And I just froze. Not because he crashed, not because he got hurt, but because he admitted it. He was racing to prove a point, not to enjoy the sport, to prove that he could still please his father, to prove that he could still fight against me. Of course, my husband didn't see it that way. He walked in mid-conversation, heard part of what Aiden said, and immediately assumed the worst, that I had emotionally pressured him into racing, that I was manipulating him, that somehow this was my fault. He started yelling. And then my MIL chimed in, gaslighting me about being jealous, about punishing a kid to feel powerful, about hiding money. It was exactly like before, except amplified. I didn't even bother defending myself at first. I just let them unravel while I stayed calm and observed. Then came the mechanics report. The bike had been tampered with. They said the throttle was off, not in a way that was obvious, but enough to cause a crash if you weren't careful. Technically, it could have been a mechanical error, a glitch, whatever, but they were very clear that it didn't happen naturally. My husband looked at me like I had orchestrated the whole thing, like I'm some kind of criminal mastermind who set up a 13-year-old for disaster. Let me be clear, I did not touch the bike. Never even thought about it. But suddenly, I'm the villain. And honestly, I didn't even defend myself. I just let them stew. Let the panic, the blame, the chaos wash over them. Meanwhile, I was quietly assessing the situation. I even caught my husband glancing at me, probably trying to figure out if I was actually capable of this level of manipulation. And he didn't know that I wasn't doing anything. The bike malfunction just added fuel to the fire. Now everyone's convinced I had something to do with it, which of course makes them even more frantic. Update 3. Okay, Reddit, this one is messy. Really messy. After the motocross crash and the ambulance fiasco, things didn't just settle down. If anything, they exploded. Husband, MIL, FIL, and ex-wife all showed up in the living room at the same time. They didn't come to check on Aiden, at least not really. They came to confront me. The second I walked in, the tension was like a physical weight. I could feel their eyes on me, sizing me up, already forming judgments before a word was even said. And then it started. Full-on accusations. Husband immediately accused me of sabotaging the bike, of manipulating Aiden emotionally, of weaponizing Riley to make myself look like the hero while painting him and his son as villains. Mill piled on, saying I hide money and manipulate everyone in the house to make myself look powerful. Ex-wife didn't accuse me. At first she just stood there, calm, cold, and collecting everything I had done in her head. Fael just shook his head, like he couldn't even process the chaos. They all looked at me like I was the problem. They accused me of everything, and my response was exactly what it needed to be. I didn't deny what I'd done. I didn't apologize. I told them calmly, and I mean calmly, while everyone else was panicking, that I would never intentionally risk Aiden's life. I said I was the only stable parent in this house right now, that I am the one protecting Riley from the chaos that everyone else creates. I pointed out that the ex-wife may be the instigator here, that she always shows up at races, hovering, trying to manipulate Aiden into a specific kind of kid, and I said they were all jealous of me because I'm the one trying to do something creative in this house, the one who actually thinks about consequences. That's when ex-wife dropped the bomb. She pulled out her phone and played a video, and this isn't just any video. Aiden had hidden a helmet camera on his bike, the crash, the entire practice session, everything. And it recorded what I had said when I sold the dirt bike, but it looked off. I froze. I had no idea it was recording. In the video, I am honest. Harsh, maybe, but honest. I told Aiden that maybe if he spent more time being part of the family, instead of being a little celebrity, his dad would actually notice him as a kid instead of just a rider. I told him he didn't deserve a bike when he acted like a spoiled prince. I warned him that everything changes when he can't hide behind that bike. And here's the kicker. All of it was in the context of trying to teach him accountability, to help him understand how he acts. But none of that context was clear in the video. Everyone in the room reacted like I had confessed to some kind of grand evil plan. Husband looked horrified. Mill gasped. Phil just shook his head in disbelief. Husband immediately demanded I leave the house for a few days. I started packing, but not because I felt guilty. No. I was packing because I felt betrayed that my own stepson had turned something meant as a private lesson into a weapon against me, because now they all believed I was the villain. And fine, if they wanted a villain, I would give them a perfect one. I took my time. I didn't rush. I packed the things that mattered: my art supplies, some of Riley's things, and a few other essentials. I looked at everyone in that room and felt a strange satisfaction. They were panicked, upset, frustrated, confused, and I was calm, observing, planning my next move, not apologizing, not crying, not begging, just present. And while I packed, I realized something important. This wasn't really about Aiden's crash, or the bike, or even the TV. This was about me finally being recognized as someone who matters in this house. I have spent years being invisible, being ignored while Aiden got all the attention and praise. And now, for once, the chaos in this family revolved around me. I know it looks bad. Reddit, I know. Everyone thinks I'm the manipulative stepson hater, the parent who ruins everything for fun. But the truth is, I'm the one who is here. I'm the one protecting Riley. I'm the one forcing my husband and his family to consider the consequences of their behavior. And yeah, maybe I enjoy the chaos a little. Maybe I enjoy being the one everyone is pointing at because it finally proves I'm not invisible. So that's where I stand now. Final update. Reddit, I finally have the full picture, and honestly, I'm still processing it. After everything with the dirt bike, the TV, the crash, and the family intervention, Aiden came clean. Not to my husband first, not to Mael, not to anyone at the family intervention. He told me. He admitted that he sabotaged his own bike. He said he wanted attention, sympathy, a reason for Dad to skip a big race, and most importantly, leverage to make me look bad. Everything: the crash, the panic, the ambulance, the rage in the living room, he planned it in a weird, calculated way. And yes, the TV, he smashed that on purpose too. He told a friend at school that if he made me look unhinged, Dad would finally choose him fully. That friend's parents somehow found out and told me. I didn't even know where to start. I brought it straight to my husband, who looked like he wanted to explode and cry at the same time. The ex-wife knew. She had known all along and stayed silent, probably to make my husband see how intense motocross culture had made our son. I hate to admit it, but it worked. She wanted the attention to shift, and it did. All eyes ended up on me, the villain she set up. Meal apologized. She admitted she had judged me unfairly. The helmet footage, the thing everyone saw at the intervention, it was edited. The full footage showed the truth. I said harsh things, sure, but I also tried to teach Aiden about jealousy, pressure, and not letting a sport define him. The villain version of me they saw was incomplete. I'm not innocent, but Aiden looks like he was calculating every move. Husband, well, he's humiliated, shaken, and honestly, a little impressed by my bluntness. He admitted that he created this dynamic in the first place, that Aiden's mental health was spiraling, and that he let motocross become more than a hobby. It became an identity crisis for a kid. I didn't argue with him, I just observed. In the end, we reached a truce of sorts. I'm staying in the house. Husband asked me to help parent Aiden more evenly, to use my directness to get through to him, and to help rebuild family therapy. I won't lie, part of me enjoys being needed and taken seriously after all these years of feeling invisible. Aiden lost motocross privileges temporarily, not because I demanded it, but because he chose manipulation over safety. And he admitted to me privately that he did all of this because I'm the only adult who doesn't treat him like a trophy. That's what it boiled down to. He wanted attention, and I'm the only one who actually sees him as a kid instead of a project. So where does that leave me? Not proud, not guilty. Reddit, I don't know what this makes me. All I know is that the dirt bike is gone. The TV is ruined, Aiden's lessons are harsh, and Riley is still my focus. I didn't cause this mess, but I did navigate it messily and in full view of the family.